All right, fantastic. So this is G2X, the platform, and you are going to notice that I'm logged into all three platforms at the same time. So you have your health, FedCiv, and defense. These are our three different offerings. So whatever we talk about from a data point of view, you can extrapolate that we have that same layout and functionality within the different platforms. So if you're listening today and you have a defense subscription, if I'm explaining and demoing from the FedCiv side, you can trust and believe that you can do the same sorts of things within the defense system as well. And Marianne, I don't have the chat open while I'm demoing at the same time while I'm sharing. So if you see a hot question, send it over to me, okay?
Okay.
Cool. All right. When you log in, this is pretty much what you're looking at. And I wanted to put a big statement out there first and foremost and say that most of the tools that are out there right now are capture related tools, right? And you're digging into them to find capture data, whether it's, I want to find the total TCV and back into a price to win, or I want to find out who the incumbent was so I can, ghost something, or I want to pull out all the data needed for a step review, maybe gate reviews later down the road, all those parts and pieces. So one thing I was noticing about G2X as I was in the system and as I was using it, I've been a long time user of G2X, and this is my second time around as an employee of G2X. So interestingly enough, I noticed that G2X leans right now on the BD function. So BD being the front end of the pipeline, capture being the middle, and then operations being towards the middle, and then the contracts management piece wrapping around is kind of the way that we all understand our kind of world. So I found out that G2X is really on the front side. Like, who do we need to talk to? When do we need to talk to them? For which opportunities, where, and why? So really being at the right place at the right time, making the right friends, understanding the right mission, so you could get the opportunities in the door and in front of your executives at the right time so you can say yes to bids and actually win, right? It's the whole goal. So now that you're looking at G2X and you have that kind of in your brain is like preface, like, okay, this is a BD tool, right? The capture piece of G2X is being built right now, and we will be launching it this fall. And that will include awards, opportunities, and pipeline, and protests and grants and all the other fun stuff, but that's not live right now. So what's live right now is more of the BD side. Okay. Also wanted to let you know that this data is curated. So we're not tracking roads, commodes, dogs, and guns, right? So we're curated and tracking IT services, IT products, hot and sexy things that are happening in the government in the 541 NAICS code space, as well as the surrounding IT services and IT products NAICS codes. So as we kind of take that in and kind of go down, you're going to notice that our information is split out into awards, news, opportunities, and different parts and pieces that if you have been a longtime subscriber, you are very fond of seeing in your daily inbox with the daily take between 8:30 and 9:30 every single day. So you've got your awards, industry moves, jobs, news, opportunities, and protests. So when it comes to the awards, I just want to say that if you are for example, if you are a subcontractor and you want to know, or even if you're a big prime and you want to know who you should be partnering with at different agencies, knowing which companies are winning at which agencies is really important to know. Basically, understanding the companies that have play and are being a big deal at certain agencies, that's good to know. So for example, there's a company out there, and the guy that runs BD is a friend of mine. His name's Matt Tiani, and the company's iTech AG. And if you are doing anything in the ServiceNow space, you're going to see them agency after agency after agency winning, winning, winning. So if you were looking to break into the ServiceNow kind of services type of realm, then, iTech AG would be a good partner. And how did you know that? You saw in one of the daily takes in the awards section, you saw that iTech AG took home a $27 million deal at Ginnie Mae. That just was published last week. So that's the kind of thing that you can start thinking about. Or I was on the phone with a gentleman this morning, recently separated from the military, started his own business, and he's like, how do I know what big primes are winning things? G2X awards. Now you can see prime after prime after prime. Who do you want to work with? What are they doing? How are they winning? Who are they winning? What are they actually executing? What are they operating? Like, keeping a pulse of the industry is really important. So that's the award side of the house. So the industry moves. side here is actually big as well, because when you go to these events and you see some of these government folks, we only track in G2X budget holders most of the time. I mean, CIOs too, I guess. And hypothetically, are they budget holders? Are they more like skin in the game holders? And it's up for question, right? Depends on the agency. So, but when you see industry moves in G2X, you can be sure we picked them for a reason. So, feel free to reach out to them on LinkedIn. Hey, I saw in G2X, you moved over here. Congrats on the new role. Would love to hear more about it. These government folks in these new roles, 9 times out of 10, I can't promise 10 out of 10 because I've, haven't always had success myself, but 9 times out of 10, you reach out and you say something along the lines of, hey, I see that you have accepted this new role, would love to come in and understand kind of what your challenges are when you get your head, wrapped around what it is you're doing, keep my information. We're a small prime over here in this other agency. Your agency is a mission that matters to me, and I have a lot of qualifications and, whatever it is. You guys know how to do this, right? So I think that would be really important from kind of understanding, and it's a foot in the door, right? So I want to talk about opportunities. Opportunities is, I think, one of the more valuable pieces of G2X, because you can really wrap yourself around an axle, even just trying to log into eBuy. Ask me how I know, right? So we will do that curation for you. We have access to 8A Stars 3, Vets 2, which I don't know if you caught my article, which we'll talk about G2 exclusives in a minute, but Vets 2 is a huge vehicle that you should have your eyes on. And even if you're not an SDV OSB, you need to have a Vets 2 play, because a lot of task orders are going to be moving over there. That was kind of like the TLDR in my article. But we also track 3 different flavors of the GSA schedule. And when I say that we track, we provide you documents, we provide you the buying organization, and we put those solicitations, the RFIs, the MRAS, which is like the GSA RFIs, in not only the daily take, but in the platform as well. So that's kind of what you're seeing here. When you take a look at the agencies and you come on down, you can see the data that was published today, whether it's news, opportunities, protests, and different types of things. So now that you kind of have a lay of the land, let's pop over and see what it looks like when we're taking a look at an opportunity. And I just picked one that was, sitting out here, and it's a Department of Justice ATF, RFP, other computer-related services. We have the documents attached, and if you come on down, you can see all of the information, and that click more, read more here will take you over to the SAM link directly. So then if you come on down, this is one of the new areas that I was hoping to show to everybody today, that G2X has actually paired up with AI in a lot of ways. This is the first way I'm showing you today. I will show you at least 3 by the time we're done. So this is one, and that is when you are looking at something on our site, it's plugged into some AI, and we will be showing you related items here at the bottom. So, I remember, can't talk. Remember back in the day when before AI was a real thing and people were trying to do this, and you'd see related content, you'd be like, or I don't want to throw any other systems out there, but I used to get these emails from other systems, and it'd be like, hey, this is a recommended opportunity for you. And you'd be like, what? This makes no sense. But the nice part about this is it is actually pretty smart. And it's saying, okay, what agency is this? What work is this? And hypothetically, you're probably going to be really interested in some of the other things that are going on related, and the things that you can actually, with your own brain, walk through and figure out why we suggested it. So that's actually pretty cool. All right, so before I jump into anything else, I want to talk about something pretty important. It's a brand new feature that we launched, and not everybody knows about it, according to our data that we sift through often on how our users are using the system. So you can submit a saved search. And I'm going to come up here into the search bar, which is super fast, and I'm just going to type in machine. For machine learning, obviously, that's kind of where my brain was going with that. And you can come over here and hit this save search button. This save search will then pop up something that, will give you a chance to name it whatever you want, because maybe in your head you want to name it, you had like a reason for naming it something. Timed in machine learning, and sometimes I put the date, just depends. And in this case, I probably would put FedCiv because I have access to all 3 platforms. And you're going to hit the save button, and then now you can see that it pops up a saved search page where you can then activate or deactivate. You can run your searches, you can edit them within this page here. So hopefully you guys saw how that worked. I just typed in a search and the little button popped over here that said save search. That's kind of how that goes. So I would ask if there's any questions, but hopefully if you have them, you're popping them into the chat. Marianne, doing a check on the chat. Any questions in there for me?
Nope, you're still good.
Fantastic. Excellent. All right. So let me go ahead and pop over to agency intel. I demo a lot. I talk to a lot of folks in the industry. And by the way, I talk to government too. Government uses our system. At least a third of our readers are the government themselves. So I want to let you know that if you are focused on only one agency, you have all of them over here along the side. And depending on whether you're in defense, health, we track pretty much all of them. So just note that if DHS is your spot, you don't have to be looking at everything else. So if you wanted to see only DHS, hit this DHS button over here and then save that search, right? Then you're going to be getting everything DHS added into FedCiv, and that's it. Then you could create your own alerts. It's genius, really, think about it. Okay, cool. Back on track. Events. So I talked a little bit about events. G2X has the most robust events database in the industry. Ask me how I know that too. So you're going to notice as you come down that we have USDA, education, all these other parts and pieces of different things. These are industry events. They are government events. They're affiliate events. They're all kinds of events in here, right? So I would absolutely come in here and figure out who's speaking at the different events that you need to be getting in front of, right? So I remember back when at my last role, I was trying to chase down some business with CFPB. And it was really hard to get in there. And so this is definitely a way. This actually looks like a webinar, but a lot of the events that we put in here are face-to-face as well. So, and then we do list speakers, we list where it is going to be held, like how to register, and we have all the register now links in here. So I would absolutely kind of spend a lot of time in here. And, as I had mentioned, I speak to a lot of folks and about their workflows. And one of my favorite stories was somebody from IBM. She said that she uses G2X to really plan out her whole entire week. And she's like a frontline leader. So she will take the events and she'll pull some out for her team and be like, you attend over here, you attend over here, bring back notes over here, and you hit this person up on LinkedIn about their industry move. Like she plans the whole thing with G2X. Super awesome. So yeah, definitely don't sleep on the events database. I've heard multiple people tell me once they notice how valuable it is, that it's worth the price of G2X alone, just for the events database. Okay, that was nice of them to say. Let's come over here to G2 exclusives. So this is an area that's kind of new for us, and going back to that whole thing that G2X has really put out a lot, and their folks are not really sure what all is out there, right? I get that email a lot too, like we have it, we pay for it, but are we really getting our value from it? Maybe not. So this area is, I think, one of the more valuable areas in G2X because it's the people behind the scenes writing capture reports for you and BD reports for you. So, for example, I kind of hinted at it. Brian Lindholm, who's on the call. Brian, thank you so much. And I, and also one of our analysts put together this report on vets too, and their funding boost. And what does it mean? Well, the task orders that are expiring from CIOSP3, not only on the SDVO side, but on the other sides as well. Polaris is like a year out from being awarded. So they bumped this up by a lot. And it's not just this report. Like we've got reports on the VA. We had actually attended the VA APBI, and the analyst was on the call and she updated the entire forecast. I don't think anybody else has an updated VA forecast opportunity by opportunity with links to the incumbents, links to the contracting officers, links to the program office. Those are the kind of reports that we try to get out there, and they are living right here. Okay, Marianne, still good on questions?
Yep, still good.
All right, cool. All right, let's keep going. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the company profiles. So the company profiles page is here, and wow, it looks like you can see that little beta sticker right there. That means that when you click on it, some things might look broken, as they do right now. They're in there working on it right now. But I'm gonna click on visual connections here and hope that doesn't break on me. So in here, you can see that you're gonna be able to slice and dice by different tabs here at the top. You've got your business information people on G2X. I wanted to let you know that you can come in here and claim your profile, but you have to be an account manager. So for example, somebody hit us up and was like, I can't claim my profile, but they worked for like a big company, right? Like Elastic or something. But you can only obviously claim it if you are the account manager of Elastic, right? Does that make sense? So, just not anybody could willy-nilly be claiming profiles. Also, you can upload your capability statement here, so that's good marketing for you and your company. The amount of people on G2X is wrapped up over here. This is where it gets super valuable. You've got a roll-up of all your socioeconomic statuses here. And then anytime we've ever written about the company on G2X, you can see that roll up here as well. So if we pop over here, I wanted to let you know that we are right now building the past performance section. So as in some of the other tools that you're used to seeing, you're going to be able to click on past performance and see one of the things I was pretty adamant about them building was a rolling 5-year average, because I know how fun it is to pull up your phone and okay, is this company still qualify as a small business? All right, let's add up the last 5 years. I was like, no, I want a floating number. Last 5 years, are they under 30 million or not? Right? So I'm looking out for you. Okay, so yeah, this is the company profile section. The nice thing about this is you can come in here and you don't have to click any of the popular companies. Obviously, you can then search by NAICS code, by primary NAICS code, which is nice, socioeconomic status. So if you were looking for 8A companies in a 541, 512 NAICS code set, it could be really useful. And this is another area where the government is really liking this piece, because then they can find lists of vendors for what they're looking for as well. So it really behooves you to get in here and claim your profile. And that being said, I did want to point out as well that you can claim your personal profile also. So if you come here in the people section, you're going to notice folks claiming their profiles. And I'm just going to pop into this person here. If this was your profile, you can edit this. You can add your photo. You can add your different parts and pieces. The pieces that are the most important is your photo. Make sure your name is correct and your title, because people are looking for specific people. And if you want to add your email there so folks can reach out to you, that would also be helpful, since we are in this BD networking capture, kind of a space. All right. Okay.
So you have one question that's asking, what is the back end of G2X built on?
What is the back end of G2X? Is that person, who's asking that question? Can you tell me the name?
John Wallman.
Hey, John, do you mean like, is it WordPress or is it something else? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Ah, okay. So that's actually a more interesting question than it sounds. So G2X used to be on WordPress, and then we rebuilt this system from scratch. And now it is built on a system called Quicksilver, and it is hand custom built. Yeah, which is really great for a lot of things. But it also means that we have to hand build it, every piece. Yeah, hopefully that helped. I don't know if anybody else was at the Affirm Awards a few weeks ago, but our Chief Technology Officer, who is the mastermind behind G2X right now, was accepting an award for being one of the more technologically leaning forward builders out there right now. So that's the guy behind Quicksilver. Thank you, Marianne. Any other questions? I see it's popping up as more people saying something, but I can't see it if I'm sharing screen.
Sophie said thank you. That's all for now.
Cool. Awesome. Excellent. All right. Now we talked about company profiles. I'm going to actually stop sharing for a second and back into the daily take, and then go into Lumen, and then go into GovAIQ. So that's the flow of everything. Thank you guys for your attention so far. I really appreciate it. I'm going to start sharing again and continue. All right. So it's funny because when I first found out about G2X, this is super near and dear to my heart, because I love the daily take. And I have to say that I also love the team behind the daily take. And I know there's a few of them on this call listening to this. So thank you for all your hard work. They get up really early in the morning and they curate all of this data day after day after day. And it's really impressive. So in the morning, they kind of put all this together for you. And like, as I had mentioned, best practice use case is to set yourself up for week after week after week of where do you need to be? Who do you need to talk to? What do you need to be seeing? What opportunities do you have in your pipeline? What information do you need to make your step reviews so they pass, right? Top part, you got your featured items. You've got those are like needle moving things. This is actually the DoD take from this morning. We do three. We do the health, G2X, FedCiv, and we also do FedCiv, defense, and health. Yeah, okay. So you have your awards here. I kind of mentioned why those are so hot and important. And it's funny, whenever you read these, you're going to be like, who's winning the work? Have to click the link. They're really good at making you click the link. Also, we are going to be starting to expand what we cover. You're going to start to notice that right now we're kind of like IT services, IT products, and the surrounding peripherals, management consulting. But as time goes on, you're going to notice that start to widen. So that's why we have this view all awards button here, so you can click in and view more. We also have all the opportunities. I am going to click on a brain here, which is the AI opportunity analysis, which is a Lumen link, and I'll talk about that. But you can kind of see the different opportunities that are popping up here. GovAIQ, we're going to talk about that as well. And then down here, you've got your events. These are three that we picked that we think are kind of hot. Black Hat is always fun. It's kind of like on my bucket list to go to Black Hat. Coming on down, you've got your protest section, you've got your industry moves, so you can kind of see how it looks in real life form here. So as I come back up, I'm going to be clicking on one of these Lumen links, and this is going to be the Army RFI for TNE, Test Enterprise Network Modernization. So I'm going to click it, and it's going to pull up Lumen. So Marianne, can you see Lumen? Or is it still showing the daily take?
Showing the take.
Okay, no problem. Zoom, you think you would have had it figured out by now, but no, of course not. Why would they? So when you click one of those brain links, it takes you into our tool called Lumen, which is an AI RFI RFP proposal shredder. So while we're in here, you click that link, it'll be like, what documents do you want us to look at, right? So I'm keeping track of the time. We're going to wrap this up very quick. You hit yes, do that, and then start Lumen, and it's going to be reading those documents. So I don't know if you are like me, and when you get in front of Claude or OpenAI, you get a little shy, and you're like, well, I don't know what to ask. So then the cool thing is Lumen knows that. So it will say like insights over here. It'll be like in brief, it'll give you some different ideas of what they're looking for. And then the response, they're asking exactly what the key aspects to consider are for this particular RFP or RFI. So you can come in here and take a look, and then you got your details, so your places of performance. This will help you really quick, even if you have no questions at all for Lumen. You can come in here and get a good gauge of what they're asking for just by looking at the details. The history, you can take a look at the history, the attachments, you can download it there, the agency, the KOs. And then you've kind of got all your pieces. So if you're looking at a lot of different RFIs and RFPs, if you just go to G2Xchange.com and paste the SAM link right after that, it'll pop up Lumen for you automatically. And that's a tool everybody has access to already. Okay. So Marianne, is it showing GovAIQ now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, last couple of minutes. I'm going to go really quick over GovAIQ. This is actually included in your subscription if you have an enterprise license or above. If you have an individual license, it will not. But if you have an enterprise and above, which means your company has 3 seats or more, then you have access to this already. Go to govaiq.com and hit the second tab over, which is like match your G2X profile with GovAIQ. Once you get over there and you upload an opportunity, it's going to take you into this tower here. And I kind of want to make this bigger, but it's not. I don't know. Oh, hey, look at that. Learn some things. It's going to take you into this, what we call the tower, which will look a lot like Lumen, where it's asking you for, the questions and things. But if you come here into Copilot and you open the editor, it will write a proposal for you exactly against what the government's asking. However, this is the cool part about GovAIQ is it's not taking your data. It's not adding your pieces in there. It is launching and responding exactly to what the government asked for by training its different bots and then responding to what the government's asking for. But if you did want to take this and add something to it, you highlight some text, come into the command here and say, I want to add my own past performance. Blah, 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 blah. Here it is. And then it will hit, see, watch me hit this button right here, expand on this and make it more detailed. It will pop it up here. You click that button and it'll just automatically drop it in. So that is a really cool tool, quick editor. I've got 1 minute. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing so I can wrap this up. That's GovAIQ. I hope you guys love it. I hope you love Lumen. I hope you love G2X as much as we do. But the last thing I want to say is that we have an emerging contractor series. If you are a new company that's emerging, then we would love to highlight you in the daily take for free. Just want to get your company out there, support you. And also we have a big flagship event coming in October called Leading for Impact, and another one in December called the Fed 100s. So those are two big award events and would love to see you there. Forum is a sister company to G2X, and I'll be there at both. Marianne will be there at both. And really wanted to thank you for your time. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and appreciate all of your attention. Thanks. Thank you, everybody.